రోడ్డు పక్కన
One boy
ఒక
asked for a lift
బాలుడు నన్ను లిఫ్ట్
because he was physically challenged.
ఆ అబ్బాయిని నాతో పాటు
I gave him a lift.
అతను చెప్పిన ప్లేస్కి నేను
I started speaking to him. During our conversation in the journey, I came to know his father was no more.
ఏం చదువుతున్నా
His mother's daily wage wouldn't be sufficient for his family needs. So, every day he would beg
మా నాన్న చనిపోయాడు
to add to their income.
చేస్తుంది
I thought
ఇంట్లో
I was also the boy of his age.
కూలి డబ్బు
I had good parents who took care of me nicely,
నేను
and that's why I was studying. But he was begging.
మా కుటుంబం
The things he shared with me made me to think, how would it be if I do something for the people like him, who are physically challenged and poor?
From this was born the Shekinah Foundation, where physically challenged children found a place they could call their home. A place born out of the personal pain of its founder, Ishakar. At the tender age of 3, Ishakar lost strength in his legs. He was afflicted with the dangerous epidemic, polio.
నా అన్నదమ్ముళ్ళకు
During those days, eradication campaigns of polio were not so popular. Neither my siblings nor I were given polio drops. They are all fine, but I was the one affected by polio.
నా వయసు పెరుగుతా ఉంది
As I was growing up, somewhere in my heart I started doubting
మామూలు మనిషి
whether I would be able to do things like others,
సాగగలుగుతానా
or would others accept me?
అన్ని రంగాల్లో
Would I be able to come up in life?
Behind his weakness was his mother's quiet strength. She encouraged him with her love and led him to find hope in Jesus Christ.
కన్నతల్లి ప్రేమను
My mother taught me to be in God's way. The way she brought me up, nothing can beat mother's love in this earth, except God's love. She strengthened me with God's word, and she prayed for me. She would be in tears. So my mother's love and the way she brought me up, the way she made me to depend on God for everything, I strongly believe that this made me overcome my disability.
Ishakar began to grow in his faith. But for a frail boy whose crutches were an extension of his body, it was not an easy journey.
నన్ను
I was put up in school only when I was 10 years old.
తరగతిలో
Directly I joined the 5th standard. Till then, I was taught only at home.
ప్రభుత్వ పాఠశాల
I joined the normal school. The students in the school mocked me because I was handicapped. That time, I became angry. Sometimes I used to beat them also.
స్టార్టింగ్లో నన్ను
But slowly, because of God's word and my mother's prayers,
తీర్చడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేసి
I gained a lot of self-confidence. I was intelligent and topped the class always. I was the leader for my class.
నాలో
Slowly, so many people became friends to me.
మూలంగా
Teachers also appreciated me. My self-confidence dominated my disability. I strongly believe that all these things happened in my life only because of God's grace that was with me.
His strong faith created in Ishakar a desire to serve Jesus through serving others like him.
ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్
I
స్టార్ట్
began to fast and pray to prepare my life for the long journey to do something for the people like me. I wanted to start an organization for the physically challenged people. I always prayed for it and imagined. Constantly, it was in my thoughts. I prayed, God, please help me. You should show me the way. And God showed me the way. He gave me a thought. I wanted to work under a banner. I was thinking for a good name. That time, God gave me a name, Shekinah Foundation. In Aramaic language, Shekinah means the presence of God. While I registered Shekinah Foundation, a residential school for physically challenged, I didn't have any money. Not even a single person came forward to sponsor me or help me. But I believed in Jesus, who is the one and only provider in my life. And only by faith, I started this organization.
For the past 15 years, he has thrown himself into creating a place where physically challenged children like him can find acceptance and dignity. Through all the difficulties he has had to face being physically challenged, Ishakar is now able to see God's design and purpose for his life.
మన జీవితంలో
I've
ఏది
experienced in my life that whatever happens, it will happen only because of God's will. God had made everything for a purpose. If God wouldn't have made me physically challenged, I wouldn't have had the time to think about these children. I wouldn't have known their problems and difficulties. I wouldn't have thought about dedicating my life for them. I believe that every incident that happens in our life is God's highest plan.
God has richly rewarded Ishakar with a wonderful dedicated wife and 3 lovely children of his own. Ishakar's life is truly a great testimony of a life that is built on Jesus Christ.
నాలాగా వికలత్వంతో బాధపడుతున్న
I would like to share something to the people like me. If we are disabled, we should not be depressed. We should take that disability as a challenge. Being physically challenged, I am able to reach out to 100 physically challenged kids. The reason is, I depended on Jesus Christ. I started this as a holy work. God honored my dedication and made me a role model to so many people. God has blessed me in all things. So if you are like me, don't fear anything. If you believe in Jesus Christ, if you depend on Him for everything, you can live a life like a normal person and achieve much more things than I could.